Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Premier. Under Bill 109 that the government is about to ram through, healthcare workers will no longer have the democratic right to choose the union that represents them in the case of a health sector merger. Under this legislation, if 60% of healthcare workers are in one union, 100% of workers will lose their right to choose the union that represents them in a merger. In a memo prepared by the Ministry of Health obtained through Freedom of Information, it clearly states that, quote, unquote, no broad-based consultation was done before this section of the bill was tabled, and cites consultation with only one stakeholder. Speaker, why were there no broad-based consultations done before the government decided to strip away health sector workers' fundamental right to a democratic vote to select the union they wish to represent them in a merger?
Thank you.
Minister of Labour.
Minister of Labour.
Thank you, Speaker, and thank you to the member for the question. The Public Sector Labour Relations Transition Act provides a framework to resolve a number of labour relations issues when there's a restructuring in the broader public service. When there's amalgamation of a hospital, a school, or a town or city, two unions have to amalgamate, perhaps in that circumstance, where one union has a large majority. What is being suggested and proposed in the legislation, that this legislation, if passed, will say we don't have a vote, it goes to the largest sector, to the people that represent the most. There's a difference of opinion within the labour movement, Speaker, I'll admit to that. Some unions think it's a good idea, some unions have concerns with it. The bill is at committee, it's at the Social Policy Committee. I understand that each and every Social Justice Committee, each and every one of those stakeholders are bringing their concerns forward to the committee. I look forward to the committee work on this, Speaker.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. In fact, on what appears to be the government's very first piece of its massive health transformation plan, they admit they've done no broad consultations. And in the memo that we obtained through FOI from the Ministry of Health, they admit that, quote unquote, the ministry has admitted this issue is not even a problem. And yet the government is stripping healthcare workers of their most basic democratic right, the right to choose. Speaker, will the Premier tell hundreds of thousands of healthcare workers in this province why it's willing to actually strip away their rights without even having done consultation for something the government admits isn't even a problem?
Thank you. Minister.
Thank you, Speaker, and thank you once again to the member. As I said, there's a variety of opinions on this, and those variety of opinions come from within the labour movement itself, Speaker. Some people have suggested that the amendments that are being put forward would reduce the potential for delay and the disruption that's often associated with these votes. It would remove the large costs associated with it and will contribute to more harmonious labour relations. Others have a different opinion, Speaker. I respect those opinions in the public venue in a very transparent way. This morning, this afternoon, those stakeholders are bringing forward their concerns, Speaker. They're addressing the committee on this issue, and I suspect the committee will give this good and true deliberation and will bring forward its best amendments if they're needed, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you.